you today? Holistic Monday. I just spent the whole day with the commune. Oh my God, just up the road from me, a whole commune. Amazing. So beautiful. And I took some of the guys to the allotment and offered them some space to grow fruit and vegetables and potatoes and everything. I think they've been evicted, but until then, I think they're going to take me up on it. So we went to the allotment and we sat in the sunshine. Oh, it was beautiful. And we talked about everything. I mean, it was, look, we all come from different walks of life and we all have different ideas, and you know what I mean. And so it was really interesting to be able to sit together, regardless of our beliefs, regardless of what might be true or not, and say what it boils down to at the end of the day is to be happy and free. And we are the human race, and we want to be free, we want to be happy, we want everyone to have food and shelter and compassion, and we love animals and we love people, and that's it. So even when you brought up our political views, we were able to talk. And I was able to say whatever I wanted. I said, look, I'm going to put it out there. And okay, explain to me what you mean, Lauren. I said, well, I'm a bit nervous to say what I feel about politics, but no, let's do it. Let's do it. And we did. We just literally sat in the allotment, me and two guys, Rain and Peppy. Peppy is actually a man who identifies as a woman, and explaining to me what that means, because I'm not, I don't know enough about that. And it was great to talk about all the things that we understand. We basically agreed with more or less on everything, and we talked about what might be going on, but the whole point of it was sitting in the allotment and trying to figure out what we're going to do for the good of humanity with that allotment, this huge piece of land that I've got, that I just refreshed. So we sat together and we talked about everything, and that was peace. It was peace, and it was good that I have a lot of knowledge as well from the Middle East, so that helped. And eye-opening things like, I was talking about Trump and got hit with like, boom, no way. And I said, well, what if I was to say to you that I've done a lot of research and I think he's okay? I think he's a good person. And it was like, oh, okay, then, well, what do you mean? I said, are you sure I can talk about this? I don't want to fight. I'm not going to I'm not going to sabotage this wonderful atmosphere. I said, no, say what you feel, Lauren. So I did. And we talked about it and said, oh, that's interesting, but I still don't believe it because of the things he says. I said, well, okay, but we're not going to fight. We're going to have peace. And it was amazing. We sat in the sun. There is a commune 8 minutes up the road from me, which I can't live in because they've been evicted, but I can go there when I want. And I've got some gluten-free cake I'm taking there tomorrow. And I'm one of the elders, and they respect it. I'm about 20 years older as far as they're concerned. That's it. And they respect that. They respect that I have knowledge, but God, they're so young and they have so much spirituality and so much knowledge to be able to survive, to, to be able to survive, to be able to they had the survival skills. I mean, the whole place is they built it on their own. It's so they got their own toilet, their own shower, their own kitchen. People bring them food, and oh my God, it's a gift from heaven that was given to me when I got to the level I never got to. Let's put it that way. And as I say, if I hadn't pulled up on the road and screamed and cried my eyes out, then Pepper wouldn't have found me. And I believe Pepper is my guardian angel, and I'm so grateful to her. And today I sat and understood what a transgender, why people decide to choose a different gender, because I didn't understand it. And we agreed that that's an adult thing, an adult choice, right? It was just incredible and beautiful day. And thank you. I'm very grateful. So I'm now here and I'm going to put on the holistic show. Now, the holistic show is all about mind, body, spirit. Okay, today is Holistic Monday. Mind, body, and the sun shone today a bit, which is amazing. Mind, body, spirit, yeah? Holistic Monday. So we're going to see programs from amazing people doing shamanism, hypnotherapy, interviews with people that use the mind, the body, the spirit, like Lenny, who healed pain in the body. And I really recommend you watch the healing codes. I'm using the healing codes as much as I can. Brad Yates and tapping, whatever I can fit in. I'm not going to put hypnotherapy on at the moment because you're likely having your dinner. And in America, it's probably about 1 or 2 o'clock. So the shamanism, I will put on probably around 9 or 10 o'clock, the shamanism, because then, or maybe 8 o'clock, because you'll have finished your dinner and then you can relax and do a good shamanistic meditation. And hypnotherapy, probably around 9 as well, something like that, because America is the afternoon. But, I'm doing my best. So then I will put on the programs later on at night for America as well. So there you go. So just checking, are we on Facebook? Because this was not going live on Facebook for some reason. And it should say Holistic Monday. See, it hasn't changed. Hasn't changed. It still says Baba Bertha. And it shouldn't say Baba Bertha. Let's get rid of that. Mind, body, spirit meditations. Mind, body, spirit interviews and meditations for awakening and balance. From the wise, enlightened spirits that I have interviewed to review on Moving on TV. Okay. So basically, yeah, whatever. Forget about the politics now. We're in the mind, body, spirit. If you've got any particular programs you want me to put on, then let me know, okay? Yes, we're on Facebook. I don't know why it's not coming up. There it is, Facebook. Comes on, yeah, it's on this page as well. It should be on Moving on TV. No, it's not coming up on Moving on TV. I wonder why. It is Moving on TV Facebook. Should. It should be on all of them. Right, okay. Anyway, so as I say, Mind, Body, Spirit now, and all the best programs, all the best interviews that I've done for you guys to help you find more balance and awaken. And if you want to find out more about the HS2 commune and all these amazing people, I wish I could film them and do a story, but it's all confidential. I will ask them at some point because I want to interview them. You know, all they've come from all over, mainly the north, but you've got someone from Cornwall, you've got people from the north, they're just such, some of them are just gentle, just beautiful, gentle, just gentle souls that just want to be left alone in peace, you know, and there's none of this. Everybody's hugging and amazing, absolutely amazing. And it's just up here, up by in between here and Wendover. And as I say, if I hadn't got up and gone through that pain yesterday, I would never found them, never found them. So what I'm saying is, if you want a really nice day of survival and love, because they're so kind and loving, just go there. Bring them some food, share your food, and sit and meditate and relax. And there's a guitar there. You know, it's just a feeling of your tribe, you know, that tribal thing that we talk about. And it's not far away from here. They're all over the country. Apparently they set up because of the HS2, and they're trying to save the planet. They're trying to save nature and all the beauty and the animals. And unfortunately, you know, an animal died on the road, a deer, and of course they need to eat. So I turned up at the wrong moment. So I'm too creative. My mind is too creative. So they invited me to stay and eat dinner, and I thought, no, thank you, goodbye. I'm not having any, thank you. So anyway, I'm going to leave you now with some mind, body, spirit, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it helps you. And if you want to come on to Moving On TV, email me at movingontv1@gmail.com. Tell your story. You know, if you're a healer, if you want to sponsor Moving On TV, then please, we are looking for holistic sponsors. I think I'll put that one on, actually. I'll put a couple of adverts on. We're looking for holistic sponsors. And then I'm going to go and do some tarot for my new channel. And I will be back later. I do feel a bit tired at the moment. I must admit, I do feel a bit tired. But it's just so nice to know I've got somewhere to go now every day. Every single day I've got somewhere to go. If I want, I don't have to be on my own anymore at all. I can go, and it's nice to have that balance. As I say, we sat today in the allotment together and we tried to figure out what good we can do for that piece of land. And they were coming up with all these great ideas. I didn't understand what they were talking about, but you know, that's why I want to interview this guy called Rain. He was explaining to me what they could do with the allotments, and apart from growing fruit and vegetables, I didn't understand what he meant about putting something in there. Again, I didn't understand. So, you know, as you know, I'm not that way like-minded, but it's just so beautiful to be able to offer this space to these beautiful souls to help them survive at the moment. And hopefully they won't be evicted, and we can grow our friendships. And fascinating. I'm learning every day, new stuff every day, learning to become more loving. I used the Course in Miracles. I was neutral. I was listening, and they were listening to me. And you know what? I don't remember the last time I did that, where you could just say, well, I did in the Positivity Center, I think. You could say what you felt. Then it all came to an end. You couldn't anymore. But you could say what you felt, and we talk about it. And we could make decisions together. And I could ask questions and put myself out there and say, I'm really sorry, but I don't understand. Can you explain to me this gender thing? And because I didn't know enough about this. And I said, look, you're a human being and you're a beautiful soul, and you You probably saved my life yesterday. You're my guardian angel. So I don't give a shit what you get, what you do. It's none of my business. As long as you're happy and you don't harm anybody, innocence, I don't care. And that was what we came to the conclusion. Everyone has a right to be themselves as long as they don't harm innocence. Anyway, I hope the Twitch guys are happy that I put on chat. Just chatting, mind, body, spirit. Let's watch an ad.
No, rien, de rien. Oh, I love you too, Marcel. Oh, bonjour, bonjour. I want to wear my face to the audience as I would a laver. And that is why I refuse to wear the makeup and the products, not unless they are organic. Because they make me feel nude. So, come on board, organic makeup companies, moving on TV.uk. Bonjour. No, rien, There we go. Welcome to Moving On TV. Do you love animals as much as we do? I just showed you Peace and Ellie, my cats. But if you love animals, and you love humans, of course, you're the kind of sponsor that we would be proud to have on board Moving On TV. The only sponsors that we would even think about having on board Moving On TV are sponsors that are enhancing the environment, enhancing life, enhancing humanity. They never use chemicals in any way, shape, or form, not in hair products, facial products, organic only. That's the only thing that touches this skin. No one guesses my age because I never, ever use anything but pure organic makeup and products on this beautiful shell. I'm healthy in mind, body, spirit because I never eat anything if it's got any kind of chemical or if it's not pure. So come on board Moving On TV if you are one of us. If you're starting with a new product that you want to get out there to enhance society, to enhance humanity, to enhance animals. Maybe you're doing a new pet food for animals without chemicals. We will welcome you on here, whoever you are, as long as you love animals and people as much as we do. You can contact me on movingontv1@gmail.com, 07437 532 798. Email me. I just said it. We are Moving On TV, the new TV station that brings you the hope and the glory. And I am the proud CEO, Lauren Hope Glory, moving on with all of you into a beautiful new world together. I love you. Namaste. Welcome to Moving On TV. Thank you. Bye.
So there you go. Thank you. Right. So there's a couple of adverts. If anybody wants to come on board Moving on TV, please email me. Zid, what happened to you? You were going to come on and you're going to email me about ideas you got for Moving on TV. Please do. It's really good to have people. Awesome. Where have you disappeared to? If you're watching now, can you please come back? Because, you know, we were starting to get somewhere to throw some ideas around. Anyway, what was I going to do? Yeah, mind, body, spirit. Let's see what I can get on for you guys to keep you, to help you. Let's see what comes up on the Holistic Monday. What have we got for Holistic Monday that I can show you? If you have any requests, then please contact me. About that one. There we go. This was a good one. Copy it. And fill in the gaps. I haven't made a video of it yet because I want to learn it off by heart. I haven't done that yet because I don't want to do it, you know, in a way where, hang on, fill in the gaps. All right, so get rid of that. All right, follow us on, obviously, that's already we did say, those social medias. So hopefully Vad's going to be on soon and is going to be able to read that out. I hope you're enjoying the Holistic Monday. I hope you enjoy watching Lenny and the Healing Blueprints because I'm going to put the preview on because if you get pain like me, you can use it and it does work. Healing Blueprint. The preview to the Healing Blueprint. Where are we? Healing Blueprint Relief Techniques preview. Because I want you to use these programs. How would you get someone that's actually in intense pain, that it's hard for it and think that they could ask their pain in? How are you going to do it? Would you do that by steps, like slowly, gently? Because
the first thing that you want to do is imagine that you're holding a sword and shield while setting the sword and shield down and then walking up to an imagined sacred space, the door opening, and then your issue, say neck pain, walking through the door, and you welcome it. You say, well,
muted. No one tells me I'm muted, so I don't know. Unless Cara. Cara's the only one who tells me. So I know Cara's probably the only one on here. I can see there's a few people on here, but no one tells me I'm muted. So what I'm saying is the healing blueprint that I did with Lenny. I'm going to try and find it, guys, because it's brilliant. Not, but I, you know, the one that I did with her is very extensive as well. You just surrender. You know, it's like with, I've had a really difficult day. I'm not going to go into it, but all my demons were literally on top of me today. You know, the main demon I'm dealing with at the moment, the eviction. I did a spiritual reading for myself and others. And what came through was this is a lot of energy and mixed messages and fast messaging that are not actually connected to reality enough at the moment. So I don't know what's happening to me. That is the answer. And Spirit said to me to just take care of myself and to focus on the good things and to focus on what I do want rather than focus on what I don't want. And that was the holistic message that came through to me, which I'm putting on my tarot channel, which I'm not going to tell you what it is, not until I've got enough subscribers so I can fight the trolls, because I really don't want horrible people unliking me. And here is Vlad. Hey, Vlad.
Hello. Hey. How are you doing? Good to see you.
I feel a bit better. I've been meditating and I've been doing readings for me, spiritual readings around what's happening. And, you know, I've got a new channel where I'm putting all my readings, but I'm not going to tell anyone because I don't want the trolls on there.
Yeah.
So I'm separating it from moving on TV. In order to grow it to such a level. But anyway, I sat there and I did my own readings. And what came through to me from today, from all the pressure and all the messages and, you know, with everything that's going on with the eviction, was that this is a lot of empty messages. A lot is being thrown at me without facts. There's not enough facts. That you felt it. I felt it. Martin also knows it, even though he won't admit it. But the problem is that he's coming out with these messages and he's coming at me really fast with these messages, but there's no basis to them. There's not enough dates. There's no certainty. And so that's what's screwing with my head. It's a bit like people that are watching the media and they're getting all these mixed messages and all this fear and all this panic. And so the body goes into fear and panic. And, you know, so the Spirit said to me, back off. Don't listen to that. Take care of yourself. Drink water. That was obvious. A lot of beautiful energies are coming towards me. A lot of love, a lot of compassion. I'm not going to go into it too much. It was a very deep reading. But the beautiful thing was that to balance my mind, body, and spirit and not get myself caught up in what's going on with this eviction, because it's a lot of it is not based in reality yet. That's what came through from Spirit. And I was able to use that for other people to explain to them that they're getting these messages from all over the place and people are throwing stuff at them. But you've got to go into your balance, eat and drink water. And I was also directed to put all my attention and focus on the positive. A very, very powerful positive reading. I might send it to you because, as I say, I'm not telling anyone what this channel is yet, not until it's got past the level where they can actually destroy me like they're trying to do with me on TV. But I'm excited because I set up a table. I've got my camera and I just sit there. I do my cards and I'm just asking Spirit to give me positive messages. And I've just come up with a new idea as well. Is to start to channel music for people, to sit there and channel music and give them songs from people that they're not around, like people they're not connecting to. So, for example, say you've fallen out with someone, a friend or a member of your family, and they're not giving you the truth of how they feel. So I'm going to write a song to show them how much they love them. Something like that just came to me today, to just sit there by the piano and film it. Just film my hands and just sing and give that love to people, you know?
Yeah.
So they can feel that love that's coming to them from people that may not be able to express it. So yeah, I did. Oh God, this I started to do this harmony thing with this guy.
Oh, how did it go?
He muted everybody. He muted everyone. I mean,
Really?
yeah, he was singing and he'd recorded himself singing different harmonies. But everybody was muted.
What was the point?
So I don't know. I
He
couldn't be
can't harmonize by himself,
I just
can
came
he?
off of it. I couldn't be bothered. I just thought, you know what? I'm coming off. I'm not really, this is not what I want. So I came off
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that. It didn't really work for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, I sent you a text with a mission statement that someone called Autumn created for us. Do you want to read it? I'm going to come off and give you
Yeah.
the opportunity to do your beautiful presenting, but I want you to read it. It's
Mhm.
basically, I filled in the gaps as well with the social media that we're on. Can you tell me if you got it? It should be on your phone.
Yeah, yeah, sure. It is.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to do that. I will come off. This is the holistic show. So we're going to talk about things like healing, breathing, the mind, the body, the spirit, not needing to use medicine. You
Mhm.
know that because you have such a strong connection to God. You must have instances in your life where you were able to heal. I mean, your life was not easy, as we know, and you have a very strong belief in God, in love. But I want you to think also, when I come back after you've done this mission statement,
Mhm.
I want to ask you about incidents where you were able. Well, I mean, let's look at without breaking confidentiality. You and your wife went through something which, without telling too much, but you recovered in a few days with natural medicine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without medicine, okay. You know
Yeah.
what? The other
And I've
thing,
got another story to tell you about
yeah,
a local doctor here who obviously was so basically pissed off with me because
naturally.
apparently doctors here are not used to hear intelligent patients who have made the effort to learn a few things about the principles of healing and medicine and what works and what it doesn't. And he got so annoyed. He couldn't help it, you know?
We know more than, well, we know more than doctors do, that's for sure. But then you see the other thing, and if anyone is watching this and you're still very frightened of this virus, can I give you another example? Martin's father is 93, bless him. He was diagnosed and he's well. How's that possible?
No vaccine, no medicines, nothing, right? Just God's
He was
given
taken
immune
to the
system.
hospital and he was given space and breathing. I don't know what they did in there, but he is well.
Yeah.
Now, okay, we can't say too much on you, we'll get wiped off. But people, you need to start thinking about this.
Hmm.
I could have healed him in 2 days, the same way as we all heal. But he was taken into hospital, and I think this has woken Martin up in a big way because he's thinking, Dad is really, really old. But I
Yeah,
tell you one thing about his father, he's looked after and he's loved. And I think that's a huge part of this. He's got a very strong immune system, and they all love each other. And I'm sure that's got a lot to do
of
with
course.
he comes from love.
Yeah, as the saying goes, a strong spirit means a strong body, right?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course. And that's why I do a lot of programs about loneliness, as you know. And that's where my struggle is how long can I keep my immune system well living the way I do? And that's why I started to get in the car, and I'm coming to visit you on Monday, and I'm going to the studio on Friday to sit through a whole album that Manuel is doing. But I can sit there and not sing. I've got to sit there, and I'm not able to sing. I'm not able to participate. That ego is going to be, oh my God, oh my God. But I
Challenge.
really, it's a big one for me. I've got to do something. It's like the ego wants to film it, but then my love, the love, God, love is saying to me, Lauren, Emmanuel loves you. These people love you. This is going to lead to something else. Just be patient. Just have some patience, because we're going to cast a whole of encounters, and if they've got a proper studio and they've got everything laid on, at some point we will join, please God, that's what we will be doing. We'll be joining the love in some way, and you never know what might happen. But the ego is so big, it wants to stand up and start joining in the harmonies. And it's a bit like saying to me something that I've been doing since I was a child: you can't do it. You've got to sit there and you've got to listen.
Yeah, behave. Behave yourself.
Anyway,
all right.
We're on the holistic show, so I want you to do your presentation.
Yeah, and you'll be back to me.
And I will be back to ask you questions about the mind, the body, the spirit connection.
Yeah.
And how we can use that in day-to-day life. All right, so you've got everything in front of you.
Yes.
All right, I will shut up now.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is Vladimir Mladenov, Freeman. I'm a Freeman, and I wish you all be free. And you know how you can be free? You can be free when you know the truth, because as it goes the saying, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So here we are again on Moving On TV, and I'm tonight's presenter of the Moving On TV statement. Here I'm going to give you just in a minute or two what this is all about. So let me go now. Moving On TV is an up and coming indie entertainment service. We provide quality programming across YouTube, BitChute, and all the other places where we might be available. Unlike mainstream media, we care about views and show this by providing amazing online programming that empowers and enriches their lives. Yes, that's the truth. We challenge the status quo by valuing trust, privacy, and positive connections above all else. Our programming is ever changing and evolving to ensure we keep viewers up to date with the latest alternative news. Oh, how thirsty and hungry we are, aren't we? Oh, for the alternative news. Always striving to uncover the truth between the lies, because it's only the truth that will set us free, guys. Well, you can follow us on all the social media where we are, like here on YouTube. You can like and subscribe to our channels in BitChute and Facebook, wherever we are. Please make sure that you are there. And if you have any questions, we are not like the mainstream media that's unreachable, untouchable. No, we are down-to-earth people, and it's all about you people. It's all about us, the everyday people from all walks of life who are willing to learn the truth, to walk in love, and to love one another. So that's it for now. And I'll be waiting for Lauren Hope to come back. She's the founder of this TV station. She's the founder of music theater, Moving On Theater, and Encounters. And she's doing this special broadcast tonight about our spiritual and physical and psychological health. So that's all from me now. I'm looking forward to talk to you in a moment together with the splendid Lauren Hope.
Thank you,
Hello.
Vlad. That
Hello,
was beautiful.
Lauren. Good
I
evening.
love the way you put that. We've been very lucky to attract. I don't. This person will not say who they are, but they wanted to give something from the heart, and I'm very, very grateful because that is so beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
It is so beautiful. Because they did, I sent them. I explained to them, moving on TV is a TV station. It's not a channel. It's a TV station, and we're basically the image we're trying to present is that instead of watching BBC, all the other channels that are really making you feel like you're not good enough, you don't fit, you don't match up, everything, we do the opposite. We boost you, we boost your morale, we boost your talents, we boost everything that you are. You know, when this person asked me questions I couldn't answer, like, for example, who is moving on? Give me three types of audiences. And I said, no, it's not like that. You don't ask Sky or BBC to have three types of audience. It's for everyone. It's a huge project which needs to go at some point on that box. It can't grow any other way without getting on the box, because the people that you need to get to, Vlad, are the people that don't know how amazing they are. The people that have dreams, but they have been told all their life that they're not worth anything. And they are the ones, like older people, disabled people, people with mental health issues. I used to go around to someone's house who had a serious mental health, and all day long she would be watching housewives of you, whatever, you know, facelifts and crap and rubbish, and all these talk shows about I've got a million children from different fathers. And I used to sit there thinking, imagine if she could watch moving on TV. And moving on TV would say to this person, I know exactly who this woman is, but you know, I could see her in my mind, and I loved her, but there wasn't much I could do to help her. And but I used to watch her, and I thought, imagine if there was moving on TV was there in her face, and they were saying to her, you know what, you are amazing, you are beautiful, you deserve everything. Now, what TV station says that? You're never going to find that anywhere on that box ever. And so the people that are older, like even Martin's parents, like even Martin's mother sits there and watches mainstream, that's it, continuously. They eat it with a spoon, and they're taking it in a lot of the time, they're believing it.
Yeah.
You see, moving on TV gives them options.
Yeah.
And they think, oh, okay, that's interesting. Maybe I could get my iPad, because most of them have got iPads, and put something in there and check what is really going on. You know, could there maybe be another angle? It makes you realize how amazing you are, what your potential is. And that's the opposite to the media. So anyway, because we're on the mind, body, spirit today, we're on the holistic show, but then holistic means everything, everything. It is the mind, the body, the spirit. It encompasses everything, everything that we are. I'm really interested in you telling me more about your your life, but mainly about healing and stuff like that. Because before I hand over to you again, my father was an exceptional man in the way that he would never take medicine. Guess where I got it from? He lived to be 95, and if he hadn't fallen, he'd still be with us. If he hadn't fallen, he'd still be with us. I'm not going into these details, but because everything he healed naturally. And I have examples of him when he used to contact me, and he say, "Oh my God, I'm in the IRA again. I'm stuck in the IRA, and they're going to kidnap me, and I think I'd be kidnapped." And I said, "Dad, what have you taken?" Oh, the doctor gave me something and I took a little bit, but the rest I didn't take much. I said, Dad, you know, this is it. So do you know what he did? He just threw the lot in the bin. And then, of course, all his hallucinations disappeared. I mean, I have other cases where he used to get vertigo, you know, where he was his balance.
Yeah.
And he said, Lauren, I'm not taking medicine. I won't take it. And his carer was from the Philippines. And he gave him vitamins. And guess what happened? He healed straight away. And then there was another, he used to make me laugh, Dad, because he got sciatica, really bad sciatica. And you're talking about a 92-year-old man. Doesn't go to the doctor. Doesn't call a doctor to the house. You know what he did? He got a chair and he put his leg up on the chair and he raised his hip. And of course, he was able to get the pain to go down. He was amazing.
Wow.
He was amazing. He was amazing. And when he was dying, when he forgot who I was, and I said that he did have a very serious thyroid disorder, and he was getting very thin, and he wouldn't take his medication. He wouldn't take it. And I said to him, Dad, you got to take it because you're getting too thin. It's not that I don't believe in medication at all. Of course I do. But
Sure.
it's got to be common sense, you know?
Yeah.
I won't take it. But then he was getting very, very thin. He was looking like Gandhi. We used to say he's like Gandhi. He was so thin. And he was about 95 when this happened. And I said to him, Dad, you got to take your medication. He looked up at the sky and he goes, that's where God is. He said, that's the only doctor. And he'd lost his mind completely. He didn't know anything. He didn't even know who I was, and that was unbelievable. I go into that. You've got to love someone more than you are scared or more than you're upset, and that's how I got over that. Overnight, he didn't know me. He thought I'd come to marry him, and I never would want anyone to go through that. It was unbelievable. Your own father. But the good stuff was he reacted straight away. I got him when he lost his memory. We used to do things. Me and Martin used to pretend. We used to act with him because he thought he was stuck in a boat, right? And it was the Passover, and he said to us, "Oh, I can't have bread. I'm Jewish. We must call the captain." So we called the captain. Martin became captain. I'm a Jewish man and I'm not prepared to have any bread. It's not right for the Passover. I said, that's okay, Sid. His name was Sid, or Paddy, because he was Irish. Very much like your life, a little orphan, that got taken into a family and brought up. But he was an incredible soul. And we went along with it, and we acted it out with him. But also another thing that sticks in my mind is when he lost his memory and he wasn't eating and he couldn't function, I brought in someone to do craniosacral therapy. And that's what works the fluids from the spine into the brain. This guy did some maneuvering with his spine and his head, and Dad started to get his memory back. I filmed it. It was on YouTube before they cut it. I lost all those videos. He was starting to understand. He started to read again. He understood that he supported Arsenal because Martin and him used to have big discussions about that because Martin supported Spurs. He knew the colours, and I said, "Oh my God, you're starting to read again." And he started to come out of it a little bit, but then things happened which we won't go into. But it was his time to go, but I wish it had happened differently. But Dad reacted so quickly to the love. And that to me is what I want to create this discussion, this mind, body, spirit is love. The minute my father used to be very, very lonely, yeah, very low and very lonely, except he had an advantage over me. He had a carer that lived in with him and took care of him. Not that I'm old, but at least he had company because everyone cut him off. His nieces, his grandchildren, no one went to see him. Now, he used to ring me up, right? And he'd say, Lauren, you're the only one who loves me. You're the heart. And I said, yeah, I am. because I love you, Dad, and you know that. And I was always the heart, and she was always the head, right? And he'd start crying, and I'd sit there, yeah, okay. It's like you become the parent. And then he said, can I talk to Martin? And Martin would start to talk to him about football. And he'd come alive. Right, I'm going to watch my football now. Goodbye. Love. That was it. Love. And I saw it in the people in the old people's home. And that's why I'm grateful I lost my job really quickly, because I couldn't bear to be around those people that you're not allowed to touch, you're not allowed to hug, you're not allowed for them to have their families. And you see them treated like rubbish. The food was rubbish, everything was rubbish. And they were sitting there in their wheelchairs, and I'd come along and I'd smile at them and I'd sing to them and I'd read my father's life story. And they wanted to say to me, Lauren, you're the only one who loves us. I thought, I've heard that one before. But then I lost my job very quickly, and I'm grateful because I couldn't have done it. But love, Vlad, is the most important thing. And that's what's lacking in my life. Now, I'm not talking, I love myself enough. If I didn't, then I wouldn't come out of this. But we are brought up to believe we are social beings. And even Buddha and even Jesus all traveled in a tribe. You know, I never chose to be a nun or to be a monk. I was brought up the whole of my life, doesn't matter how many years I've been here, I was told that you are tribal. Families. We grow up in families, and love is connected. We're all connected. And so to get used to it, suddenly just being on my own, completely on my own, it's a long process. It doesn't happen overnight. And there's something in me that just can't be bothered if I can't have that connection. Like, you know, it's just not normal. And not only that, like you, I was brought up in a community. And whatever you say about Israel and the crappy country it was, we loved each other. People did love each other, particularly when there was a war. You know, I was a tiny child in the war. My parents had gone to the synagogue, and I was left on my own because I didn't like going to the synagogue. I didn't like fasting. My food was important to me. And so I stayed in bed. And I stayed in bed, and then the sirens started. And my parents were in the synagogue, and there was me on my own, this tiny child on my own. On my own. And there was a war. And the neighbors came and collected me and took me down to the air raid shelter.
Yeah.
Everywhere you live, there was you know, you have an air raid shelter on you. It's literally
like a basement bunker. Yeah.
And that was it. But I remember sitting there. I must have been terrified because there were sirens and mum and dad weren't there.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, but at least the neighbors were kind and loving. You didn't have any of this. I can't take you down to the air raid shelter because you'll contaminate me. No, you all came together. And the other beautiful thing about Israel, every time someone died in a war, like a soldier, we grieved everyone together. Yeah. Every young man was grieved like they were your family.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Wow.
And here it's lacking. There is, but you know, it was lacking before this lockdown.
Yes.
No community.
Yeah.
I'm not saying in parts of the north, different parts of this country. I went to Scotland, and Scotland's different. Scotland, people have smiles on their faces. They're very open. But
so I have heard, indeed.
The richer the people are, it seems, the more they're stuck in only their own families, including my in-laws or Martin's family. I don't have anything to do with that family anymore, ever again, because they're giving me nothing, absolutely nothing. At least Martin is trying. He's trying his best, but they're not doing anything. And they're in a position to do things to help. But there is something seriously wrong with the human race. If they can let people get to the level of loneliness that I've gone, without me saying, okay, I agree to go through a spiritual experience. And some people I've given permission because I know this is a spiritual experience, but only one person, and they know who they are. Have I given them to, have I said, yes, you can give me tough love? One person I've said, you can give me tough love because I know it'll bring me to a level of such strength that nothing will ever crush me again. One person. They know who they are. Because I've done a lot of work like that with this person and I respect what they're doing. But everybody else, I don't understand it. And so we're talking about the mind, body, spirit here. We're talking about love. And everything that I do, everything that you do is the triad of the mind, the body, the spirit's the most important thing. Because once the spirit gives up, then you may as well be dead. There's nothing. Yeah. And God knows they've tried to kick that out of us and we're still standing and nothing can kick this out of us. But I have got very close. And you saw me today. And I'm so grateful. And Martin came round and we tried to sort out the mess. But sometimes you feel like people are going through hell. And spirit does not exist in some parts of the UK. And that's why they managed to enslave them to this lockdown. If you had love and spirit enough, you couldn't have done it. You could not have done it.
A spirit can't be caged. Never.
Like how can a mother or a grandmother not see their children or grandchildren? How could that happen? If there was enough love and enough spirit, then they would understand.
Exactly.
You cannot get sick if you don't want to get sick. Your body will heal. I'm not saying, right, okay, I'll change that. You can get sick. Of course you can get sick because you're weak, because you're stressed, because you're unhappy. It's a dis-ease. It means something inside you doesn't sit comfortably. This is the mind, body, spirit, guys, and we are giving you the best healers in the world. That are coming from God, from love, and it doesn't matter what religion we are. Jesus said, physician, heal thyself. Jesus taught us that we can heal everything. And when he looked at another human, and you know I did this with my father. My father was a very abusive man as well. Very emotionally abusive. And I started to see him in love, the same way that Jesus saw people in love. You see the potential. Yeah. And guess what happened? My father transformed in front of my eyes. He became loving.
Wow. Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is
love is contagious, isn't it?
It's Jesus, Buddha.
Much more contagious than any virus.
Love is the virus should be love. Because if we were all contagious with love, if we were all contaminated with love, then none of us would be living like you and me.
Yeah.
Relying on some greedy piece of shit landlord, and I don't care, who just wants to sell their place or just wants to evict us so that they can have more and more and more when they've already got houses. As I said to you, if I was the landlord now, I'd give the property to the tenants for at least a while, because what do I need anything
until
for?
things get better? Yeah,
I've got a house, I've got a car, all that. You know, we need to share.
Yeah,
I mean that from the heart. You know me. Everybody knows that I would do that. They know. If I won the lottery, then you'd have a house. I'd have a house. Everyone who hasn't got a house would have a house. Because what am I supposed to do with it? Apart from open a theatre and a studio. So we've all got, imagine having a theatre where you don't have to pay anything and they can't take you for granted and take your money and do nothing. The world built up to such a level where love disappeared out of the equation.
Yeah.
Because of what they did. And
the love has grown cold. Yeah.
So I want to hear from you. I'm going to mute myself. You were an orphan, which you told everyone in your story, like my father.
Yeah.
You were lucky because you were taken into a family that loved you. You got that love. As far as I know, your adoptive parents loved you because you're special and you were looked after. But I need you to talk to these people that may be watching that might give us a thumbs down because they say we're talking rubbish, because they don't understand that all the answers are in here. You cannot take a tablet and fix your life. You cannot lose weight and fix your life. You
Yeah,
need to have a program where
yeah,
you eat healthy.
yeah,
I've my eating disorder, when maybe not so much now, because what
yeah.
else is there?
When I
But
was about to study medicine, and
oh,
I was working. I went to work for a psychiatry ward. I had a friend there. She was a nurse, and she invited me to join her there. And I had this very rich experience, working there for the psychiatry ward, and alongside the patients and the doctors and the specialists. And um, what I realized time and again, that there is no medicine, there is no pill for loneliness, there is no pill that you can take for lack of love and care. There are no medicines, no shots, nothing like that. Yes, I wish we human beings, we wish it could have been that easy, to just take a pill and it's gonna be all right. But we were created for much more. And that's why I totally agree with you, Lauren, that there is no pill, there's no magic pill, or uh, a jab, or any other human medicine, ever made, that can help us out of this. Because the medicine, as you've put it like time and again, it's love, the love of God that fills our hearts and makes us better people. This same love, we are like conduits, right? Drawing from the mainstream, from the main source. We draw this love and then we disperse it all around us, like lighthouses. And lighthouses, their main purpose is to give light and direction, and to protect all the ships of life, all the passengers from not getting shipwrecked, right? So I believe that people like us are these lighthouses, and the way we live, what we have experienced, and what we share now with all our viewers is to give them some light and to give them some encouragement. So yes, I uh, I was very, very young when I started to understand that there's some things that you can't treat your soul with, because the soul is something spiritual. The soul, our souls are from a different world, from a different dimension, and no physical medicine can help them. It's only our communication, relationship with people, with God, within ourselves and outside of ourselves. And just like you put it very well, the community, the lack of community nowadays is so prevalent, especially here in the UK. I can make the difference. I can tell the difference coming from a country where community, the power of community is still much stronger, and the neighborhood, and this neighbors helping neighbors and people knowing one another, and it's so much different than here. And you are definitely right that it wasn't the pandemic that made the people selfish and isolated. The pandemic only exposed, furthermore, how how far we have gone, what have we become. So I believe that it's a reckoning time. These days are reckoning days to reckon ourselves, you know, with one another, with the people that we love, with our relatives or family or friends. It's really a time of reckoning. And yeah, when we talked about early on, when we talked about, when you shared your wonderful story about your loving dad and how he was not very into pills and medicines, the conventional medicine, and most of the times he would get away from all the weaknesses and diseases that he might have contracted from time to time. Uh, and he lived to be like 95, you said? 92 years old, right?
Dad was 95, bless him.
95, wow,
And he
yeah.
would have lived to be a lot older if I
Yeah,
could,
yeah,
because I
yeah,
loved him. Because I
yeah.
loved him. Yeah.
So he almost never used medicines, and I'm totally with you. I'm not saying that medicines are not helping at all, and but they should be taken with a great discretion, and only after all other uh, options are, just over, like a last resort thing, not the first thing to go on to go to. So yeah, it was. I learned this lesson very early in my life, and gradually I stopped taking, for example, antibiotics. Whenever I would get sick, just a cold or a flu, even a flu, I would start getting more vitamin C, fruits and vegetables. Also garlic. Garlic is famous with its antibiotic properties, natural ones. And honey, bee honey, it's great. It's great for all sorts of things. So, and then when I got married and I had my own children, this is what we have decided with my wife, that we'll try to avoid, medicines as much as possible, especially those who are, we knew, and all of us know that they have very serious side effects like antibiotics and others. And we started to treat our children just the same, giving them more, trying to teach them how to eat more vegetables, more fruit, and whenever they would get a sore throat, maybe a minor cold, or even some sort of flu, you know, we, despite of the pressure that we felt and experienced by doctors saying, "Oh, you've got to put them on antibiotics immediately. This is dangerous. They've got this fever, high temperature. And we were already reading so many books, and we're trying to self-educate ourselves. So there were these different doctors, who would tell us, no, don't worry. Fever is a natural process. High temperature is very good up until one point, because it kills the viruses and the bacteria that might be in the body. And so you've got to have it. You don't have to immediately reduce the temperature, because this will reduce this powerful process of killing uh, the uh, the bacteria, the disease. So we've learned our lesson very early in our lives, and even some families are willing to give our children, antibiotics and all sorts of other chemicals. So, but gradually with the years, they would watch us and they would see that our kids grew up to be very healthy ones, both of them, and just like we did, together with my wife, and more and more young families like us, they started to join us and to ask us questions. Okay, what do you do when your child gets sick? Because it's one thing if you get the cold, or the flu, but it's totally a different thing if you see your little one, you know, uh, getting the flu, and see how it goes through pain and fever and dis-ease, as you put it very well, indeed. But we would lay our hands on them, we would pray for them, bless them, ask, the God of the universe, the creator of the universe, just to touch them and to infuse them with supernatural strength and power. So together with this natural remedies, that we would use, like we've been using for decades now, we would always pray and ask, the God of the universe, the creator of our bodies, the designer of our bodies, who knows best, just like your dad. I loved it when he said that he would point up and say, "This is my doctor. He's the best. He's the doctor of all doctors." I love it because I've said it many times, and I will never forget. For example, I'll give one testimony right now. There was a time when I was suffering from sinusitis, and it was a very severe one, and I'd been suffering for many years. And because I grew up in a communist country, atheistic country, under atheistic regime, and that's why I didn't know about God, and I didn't believe, for many years. But when I was a teenager, and I encountered the power of God, I knew that there is a great strength, great energy that can help me deal with all sorts of issues, And then I started to read the Bible, and I read there that there's so many places, there's so many verses where you can read that it is God who takes our weaknesses and heals our diseases. That Jesus, when he died on the cross, he took all our sins, but not just the sins, he took our diseases, our sicknesses. So whenever we pray in Jesus' name and lay our hands on the sick person, the power of God goes through our hands, the healing power of God, and people get healed. So I started to pray, and I prayed, and I said, Lord, and meanwhile, I've tried a few medicines, because the pain was awful. Whenever my sinuses would get infected, they would get filled with pus, and it was so awful. I felt like I wanted to take a knife and just to puncture my sinuses so that this pus can go out and leave me alone, It was awful. So I've been suffering for a while, but I continued to pray, and I never, it was very interesting that I even can't remember, but at one point I started to feel like, oh my goodness, I feel much better. What's going on? Because especially if I get the flu or a cold, normally after every time I get the cold or the flu, the sinuses will get so infected. I'll get the sinusite, and then I would say, oh, here we go again. This is going to be awful. For days I won't be able to sleep because of pain, and this pus that is coming out of my nose, and my nose, so many times my nostrils will be totally stuffed. I can't breathe, so I have to breathe through the mouth. But at some point, I've started to notice that this was gone. I mean, I remember I would get the cold, again, but afterwards there was nothing. My sinuses were clean. There was no more infection. And I said, oh my God, how has this happened? Because I've done nothing, like no surgery, nothing. I just prayed. And at some point, the sinusitis left me forever. I mean, it's been maybe 25 years now? 23 years maybe now since the sinusitis left me, and never to return. So indeed, there is natural power in our bodies, and it's called the immune system. It's one of the greatest miracles that has ever happened to us, to the human race. It's one of the greatest gifts that the Creator has installed inside of us. It's the greatest protector against all sorts of viruses, all sorts of bacteria. And there are millions out there. And if it wasn't for our immune systems, we would be dead like long time ago, even from the smallest infection. You've heard about probably cases where people's immune system gets compromised to a point that their natural defenses are totally depleted. And what happens is that even the lightest infection, the lightest cold, the most innocent one can actually kill them and they can die. And that's the power of the immune system. And then, it comes the supernatural healing that I have personally experienced and I have seen, with so many people. I will never forget, by the way, when there was one person, a friend of a friend, and he got the cancer, and the cancer was all over his body, and he was already on his bed, like sick bed, and people felt, people around him felt that there's no chance with him. He'll just leave here soon. So I talked to this friend of ours, and I said, "Oh, that's very sad. Have they tried to cure the disease?" And she said, "Yeah. He's gone through chemotherapy, but like most of us know, most of chemotherapy is good for nothing. I mean, it can only slow down just for a while the processes, but most of the times, the chemotherapy is like not good. It's so toxic, and the side effects are so awful, and the results are most of the times not great." So this guy was basically dying, and we went there, and I said, "Can I pray for this guy?" And they said, "Yeah, why not? I mean, it won't hurt him. He's dying anyway, so if there's anything that can help him, we've tried everything. That's all right." So I prayed for him. I felt such a sadness, and I prayed and I thought about Jesus. How sad he might have been as well, looking at this person, at this wretched guy suffering. And I knew that the Savior suffered for us too on the cross. And that's why he took all our sufferings, all our diseases on the cross. And I prayed with this persuasion, with this conviction, that this same power from the cross will come and heal this wretched guy. So I prayed and, tried to talk to the person a little bit, and we just left. It was in a village. It was not very close to where I live, so time passed by, maybe 5 or 6 months. I never heard from this guy again. But here we go. One day, this friend of ours, I talked to her, and we were just, catching up, and at some point, she just said, "Oh, by the way, do you remember this guy that you prayed for, like some 5, 6 months ago? He was, in his last, what they call it, last stage of cancer, and he was on his sick bed." And I said, "Yeah, of course I do. What happened to him? Has he died?" And she said, "No, actually, no. I went to that village the other day," she said, "and I saw him putting these sticks, big sticks or like rods, pushing them into the ground so that they can support the tomatoes that he has sown." And I said, "What? I know how hard this job is to do. I've done this. You have to use a shovel or something very, heavy in order to be able to put this sticks, this rods in the ground so that they can support the tomato plants." And she said, "Yeah, he looked all, alive and well and very well." And I said, "What?" I couldn't believe, myself, even though back then I believed that, that prayer has power to change things, but somehow I just, had forgotten, or maybe I didn't have, my faith wasn't that big, that strong. And when she told me that, I said, "Oh my God, Jesus, thank you. Wow." So yes, this is another, supernatural experience of mine. And I can testify tonight for all those who are suffering, whether spiritually or physically or in their soul, if they've gone through a heartbreak, heart pain, any sorts of pain, that there is hope. And we're here tonight with Lauren Hope, to tell you that there is hope, and that
there is a better way, and that you can find the power and the strength within yourself and outside of yourself. If you look above, there is heaven above us, there is someone who cares for us, and he has given us love enough to cover the whole earth. Love that's enough for all the billions of people on this planet. So would you come and join us tonight? Become part of this movement, movement of love, movement of God's strength and power, movement of people loving one another, accepting one another, caring for one another. So it's all about this, isn't it? I hope that this has touched at least one of you guys, our viewers, and please pay it forward, pass it on. The good message of hope and the good message of love, the good message of encouragement. Yes, Lauren?
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, I've seen remission. My mother. That is just incredible what love does, you know?
Yeah.
All it is, you know, without going into religion, because I know we sometimes you're much easier to talk to than Emmanuel. Let's say, let's put it out there. He knows that he needs to back off with me and with my Jewish upbringing and all sorts. But to me, Jesus was an amazing Jewish teacher and a healer, and he taught us everything that we're talking about here. But I saw remissions with my mother continuously. She was very unloved, and I've done a lot of work with my mother because she wasn't a mother. She wasn't capable of being a mother, and I've forgiven her on and off. Sometimes it comes back, but most of the time I've forgiven her.
Yeah.
And I used to go. She got cancer because she was a very unhappy woman. And
Yeah.
to me, that would have been, we had too much cancer in our family. I wouldn't be walking around now if I hadn't found an amazing man called Keith Bascom, who saved my life in my 20s. He taught me about natural medicine, and I was able to, and also Philip Day, who taught me about cancer and, how to stay well. And I can't say on here, but if people want to know, contact me. You can prevent and heal cancer without, in a very simple way, you can prevent it. Definitely. Anyway, but I believe the mind is stronger than the physical, much stronger.
Yeah.
And so if you don't get your life in order and you're not happy, the chances are you'll get sick. And Louise Hay says that. But coming back to my mum, it was a very sad, very, very sad life. She was an incredible teacher to me because I do everything and she did nothing. One of the reasons I walked away from my marriage, apart from lots of other reasons, was because my mother didn't, because she didn't have the courage and she couldn't do it. And when I decided, well, there's lots of reasons, but that was one of them. I decided I wanted to be happy and I wanted to do what was right for me. And Mum would always have stayed with Dad, and unfortunately that was part of the reason why she ended up getting sick, because he wasn't the kind of person that I would recommend being married to. I'm not making comparisons between my father and Martin. Martin's a very loving human being. My father was an orphan, PTSD from the war. A very, very difficult man in a lot of ways. Also massive heart. But if he couldn't fix you, then you were out. You had to work hard to get back in, because he didn't understand that if he couldn't fix you, he had to let you figure out your own stuff. But anyway, coming back to my mother, she got cancer, and she had no love. And I used to go over to Israel, and I gave her Reiki, I gave her healing, Reiki, whatever we call it. It's all coming from the same source. It's just laying on the hands, and it's praying with love. You don't have to use any. To me, we are all healers. You don't have to train and pay £500 to heal someone. You have it in you because Jesus and all the teachers taught you. You just have to see them well. That's it. And then it's up to them. If they can't see that anyway, what happened with my mother was exactly that. When I would go over and give her the love, the same as happened to Dad, she'd come out of it. She'd start to heal.
Yeah.
I did a journey on her where you go inside and you find she had blocked God out. She had a terrible, terrible life, in the way
Sad.
that her brother died at 20 years old. She had to go and pick up his coffin. She was only in her 20s.
Oh.
And made her go all the way to England from Ireland. I mean, you just don't do that. And my grandmother was a cold woman, and then her father died, and she was obsessed with him. I'm not even going to go there. Obsessed with her father. And she used to tell me this without any shame or with, it was very strange relationship, very, very, not nice. Didn't understand it at all. Anyway, I did this journey process on her where you go inside into the cells, and there was a massive wall, a big wall, stoned wall between her and love and God. She couldn't go there. She said, I hate God. God hates me. Took my father, took my brother, and it was like boom. And I said, okay, we need to take that off.
Yeah.
And I also called her name was Ruth. A
Mm.
beautiful name.
It is.
Beautiful name. And I always said to her, Ruth, I never used to talk to her like mom. I say, I'm going to talk to you now like a person.
Mm.
We removed the wall, and guess what happened? She went into remission straight
Wow.
away, more or less.
Wow.
Yeah. But as soon as I left and came back to England, because that's where my life was, and I couldn't live in Israel, and she knew that, and they all knew that. That was it. Within, she'd break her leg. She'd fall.
Oh.
And then, of course, the cancer would come back time and time again because she had no love. She had no love. And because she could not see that she was sabotaging her life. She could.
Exactly.
There was those people that would have seen her. You see, one of the issues about my father is he was so judgmental. If someone hurt my mother and said, I'm not going to come and visit them when she had cancer, because when cancer started around, then, and it started to become an issue, and we're talking about the 80s, probably,
Yeah.
a big issue, 90s, people didn't come to visit because they thought they were going to catch it. That's how
they thought it was a contagious disease. Yeah.
Same way as they think it could not be a virus because it's not contagious, right? Viruses, you can't catch cancer, you cannot catch a virus. Anyway, don't get me started on that because I'll get cut off moving on TV. But anyway, people thought they could catch cancer, and so they never came to visit my mother, and so my father cut everybody out. No more friends. We're not seeing anyone. And of course, my mom broke her heart. She wasn't strong enough to say, she just went along with it. A good Jewish wife. And I'm exactly the opposite. And thank God, she was my biggest teacher. So she could have had friends. She could have gone to yoga. There were classes everywhere, relaxation everywhere. And I said to her, Mom, go and do some relaxation. Go and have some fun. Go dancing. You love dancing.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
it's so therapeutic. Dancing could be so therapeutic.
Her depression is what killed her, not the cancer.
Yeah.
Depression. And not only that, there was me with my inner knowing that we have this beautiful immune system. And I always used to say to my dad understood, but he was under pressure and he was scared. So he let her have all these treatments. And I kept saying to them, you're not giving her vitamins.
Yeah.
You're not giving her anything to build her up. She's depressed. She needs counseling. She needs love. And the immune system, why is it that if I cut my hand heals?
Yeah.
Why is it that there are people in this world that cut their hand and they don't bleed? Because it's mind over matter, yeah? The mind is so powerful. The minute they look at it, oh my God, I cut my hand, then they start to bleed, or things like that. But the immune system that God gave us, yes, nature, God, doesn't matter what you call it, You don't have to call it Jesus. You don't have to call it Allah. You don't have to call it Adonai. It's God. It's everyone. It's what they have. The sin that is being created with this virus, this thing, is that it has divided humans, not according to our religion, but because we know how to heal ourselves and we want to teach it, but they don't want us to. They don't want us to teach it. And so people have been scared so much that they hate us now because they don't want to listen to the knowledge that you and I got this knowledge in my early 20s, and I would not be walking around now. Something put me in the vicinity of this incredible man called Keith Bascom, and he was just, he must be now one of my guardian angels, but he taught me everything, and he healed my irritable bowel. He changed my diet, looked at my diet, gave me homeopathy, built me up inside, and he healed me in from building my energies and taking me on certain foods. Within 2 weeks, I was well. Something that I've had since I was 12. And
Wow.
eating disorder started to go away. And
Yeah.
I was on the stage, so I compensated.
Yeah. Lauren, I'm amazed. I'm amazed at stories like this, and I'm sure that our viewers tonight, they will be at least a little touched by what we've just said. And it takes people like you and me, because we had these people in our lives, just like you put it, back 20 years or more in our teenage years, people who were as brave and as loving to tell us that there is an alternative, that there is another way, and this way might be a better one. So why don't we just keep our minds and hearts open? Why don't we just keep on being inquisitive, like children, being inquisitive? Because the moment we stop being inquisitive, curious, and we stop wondering of the world around us, and of all the different options and opportunities and alternatives that we have, then we stop living. I mean, we stop. So I would like to tell you this in conclusion, because I need to go, no matter how much I like it. But my friends, please, if you have this feeling inside of yourself that something really doesn't add up, that there must be something more than meets the eye, something more than it's just the visible material world, around us, or just something more than the propaganda that we'll hear all day long of whatnot, whether about policies, whether about medicine. It's all so politicized and so much like communist propaganda. Beware, beware. When I start hearing one thing and the same thing, being repeated like a mantra all over the media, all over the place, a red flag immediately goes up. Something's not right, It's too good to be true. So be aware, be open-minded, look at the truth. Yeah.
Before you go, because I am a walking example of how you don't need, you can live without medicine, and you can live without medicine for the mind. A walking example, because not only have I healed my leg, there was no operation, nothing. I was in a wheelchair. They told me I may not walk again. Arthritis, the doctor scared the light. He told me and Martin in his office, you'll be screaming to have an operation. This was 4 years ago. He said, you'll have arthritis and infections. I said, because you haven't had an operation. I said to him, I've healed tooth abscesses on my own, without antibiotics, with nature and everything that I've learned. Do you think that a tiny bit of arthritis in my knee is going to bother me? And he looked at me as if I was like, nothing. And it's been nearly 5 years now. And I dance. I get pain. I get some pain because it's normal, because my leg is not the same. It's shorter because the accident was serious, But
Yeah.
I can give you so many. I feel bronchitis.
Yeah.
It took me 2 months, but I healed it with turmeric and garlic, and I don't know. I've healed
Exactly.
every
Exactly.
single thing that I've been given. I believe
Yes.
I've had cancer, God knows how many times, probably. But because we can't say on here what we take and what we do, but we're telling people the information is out there. Go on BitChute. If you
Exactly.
can't watch it here, you do not need to get sick. You do not need to get old. And it's
Yeah,
not
look at us. Look at us. We're like
at us.
40 years younger.
I'm getting younger every day. You don't know it me. One day you see me, you think I'm that. It doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
all in the mind. I watched my mother succumb to everything, and then my sister got cancer, and that was it. Boom. I met someone. He taught me. I saved her life. At the time we bonded, she started taking. You know what? She started doing. You know what? She changed her whole life around. She kicked out her husband, met a millionaire. Um, um, and got the life that she deserved.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, I'm telling you, my
at the end
dear, our dear viewers, this is what we are talking about. I mean, and I'm sure that there are many, many of you who have, kind of a glimpse of what we're talking about and they want to learn more. Please do feel free to contact us.
yes.
Do feel free to ask questions. Lauren Hope, she's like almost day and night there out for you. I mean, whenever you turn on Moving on TV, you'll see that something's going on there, like all week long.
All
So
the time. On
yeah,
all the
so
time.
I would love to wish you all guys, good night. And if you want to stay, Lauren will tell you what's going to happen next. If you want to stay, please stay longer and get in contact with us. All right?
Thank you,
I give
Vlad.
you,
See
I
you
give you all
Wednesday.
my love.
See you on
Thank
Wednesday
you.
on Encounters.
Yeah, see you guys on Encounters.
I'll
Come
see
and
you
join us.
at the
Yes.
studio on Friday. Lots
Yeah,
of love.
lots
Thank
of
you,
love.
sweetheart. Love to your family. And
Thank
thank you
you.
for
Thank you.
everything. You're a
You're
light.
welcome.
You're a glowing light on Moving on
Thank
TV.
you.
We love you
Night,
very much.
night.
Bye, sweetheart. Bye-bye. Thank you. He's a light. Vlad is a light. He's an angel. He's a star seed. I'm very, very proud to have him in my life. If it wasn't for encounters, he wouldn't have come into my life. Neither would have Emmanuel and all the amazing souls. As I said, I know you're going to give thumbs down, which is sad because we're here to educate. We're here to give you another way. And yes, the phone is on 24 hours a day. I'm proud of that. You're never alone. But I will not let you sink into victimhood. I'm not a Samaritan. I'm not interested in saving any of you. As you can see, this is Moving on TV. I'll read it to you. Moving on TV is an up and coming indie entertainment service. We provide quality programming across YouTube, BitChute, and Facebook, MeWe, Twitter, and Periscope and Twitch. Unlike mainstream media, we care about our viewers and show this by providing. Sorry, where's the rest of it? Because I don't know it off by heart yet. By providing amazing online programming that empowers and enriches their lives. We challenge the status quo by valuing trust, privacy, and positive connections above all else. Our programming is ever changing and evolving to ensure we keep viewers up to date with the latest alternative news, always striving to uncover the truth between the lies. Find us on Moving On TV community on YouTube, Moving On TV Facebook, Moving On TV at Moving On TV Twitter and Periscope. MeWe is Moving On TV Hope and BitChute is Moving On TV. And that is really everything. And so before you give this a thumbs down on Twitch Moving On TV, If you knew how much I knew, if you knew how to heal your body and how to heal your mind, would you not be going up on top of the rooftops and shouting it very loud? Would you not be giving this out for free like Jesus would or Buddha? They already did. Why do you think I do this? Because I love humanity. I love humanity, and I am working to wake you up, to teach you. If this wakes one person up, one, if you listen to what Vlad was saying, one of you, if you listen to these amazing healers, I'm going to put on Lenny now, because Lenny teaches you how to heal physical pain in your body without medicine. I'm not against medicine for you. You can take medicine if you want. I'm just saying you have to deal with the side effects afterwards. And it may be better not to have to do that. Right? I'm going to put on the healing blueprint for you now. I want you to watch this as the gift. The gifts that Moving On TV offers you. We are offering you our heart and soul. So before you give us a thumbs down or before you unsubscribe, watch this. Do you know someone is in intense pain? It works. It sounds like magic, but it isn't magic, but it's a miracle. When you surrender your pain, I've done it. When I went to America and my leg was playing up because I was still going through the accident and I'd come off crutches, I was walking in with one crutch. And I remember walking down towards the studio and I was in pain. I stopped and I said, okay, I lay down my swords, God, or whatever, angels, it doesn't matter. Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, whatever you believe in, a tree. I lay down my swords to my higher power. Please take this off of me. And I could see myself. There you are. Physically, the mind likes that. And then I said, pain, come in. How are you today, pain in the leg? What would you like? Would you like a cup of tea? Would you like a glass of champagne? Please sit down and relax. And I just, for 5 minutes. And you know what happened? The pain disappeared and I was able to walk. It works. Everything I teach you works. It works. When I was in the wheelchair, I had a dreadful abscess on my gums. I went to the dentist. They gave me a tablet that size. I said, I'm not taking it. What did I do? I used sea salt. I used
recovery toolbox to help you stay sane in a crazy world. Hi there, my name is Lauren Hope. I'm the CEO of Moving On TV and I'm very happy to be here today. 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with a serious mental health issue, borderline personality disorder. I went into a therapeutic community for nearly 2 years and I found inner peace. And I learned a lot of tools of how to stay sane in this crazy world. I was out of there for 6 years, and last year I went through the worst year of my life. I was in a wheelchair for 4 months. I lost my father and my family disinherited me, but I still stayed sane with this head with no medication. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have medication, that's your choice. And I'm also saying that this program, this course that I'm devising, is for everyone. You don't have to have a mental illness to be able to learn the tools that I'm going to give you, the tools that help you to deal with the chaotic life out there. So, how to stay sane in a crazy world. Welcome to my recovery toolbox. So hi there, I'm Lauren. Now, if I can stay sane with the washing machine head that I've got by using these tools, then you can too. So today I'm going to discuss a few of them with you. I'm going to give you some of them just to give you an idea of what the full course is going to be about, and you're going to love them. There's so many of them, but I've got about 10 that if you use them, if you use some of them, if you use all of them, you will be happy. You will find inner peace and you will stay sane in this crazy world, no matter who you are. Okay, so let's start with the first one, HALT. H-A-L-T. Don't get too hungry, too angry, too lonely, or too tired. Now, I found HALT through Emotions Anonymous. Don't get too hungry, because your blood sugar will drop and you'll get really depressed. Think about it. You have to eat 3 meals a day. And my mother used to say that you should feast like a king at breakfast, eat like a queen at lunch, and as a pauper at dinner. Well done, Mum. That's what they do in Buddhist retreats. Didn't know she was spiritual, but there you go. Don't get too angry. If you get too angry, it builds up inside you and you won't be able to have an easy life. So you need to let your anger go, or you'll end up having a rage room like I have, which sometimes when it builds up and up, you have no choice but to throw some things around. But try to get it out of you bit by bit through communication and other ways. Don't get too lonely. Now, I was lonely in a wheelchair for 4 months in this house. So lonely. But I stayed sane. And why do you think that was? Facebook Live. We all have our ways of not being lonely. Find your own, because if you get lonely, you'll get depressed, you'll isolate. And that's where the therapeutic community was wonderful in that way, because we went there and we were with people like us. So don't get too lonely, and you had the 24-hour support system as well. Don't get too lonely, okay? And don't get too tired, because if you get tired, you will get niggly. You will get niggly and your body will not renew itself and you'll have sleep deprivation and people won't want to be around you and you won't want to be around yourself. So that's the first tool, HALT. Tool number 2, structure. Structure, structure, structure. If you have a head like mine, you need to have some structure. But you also have to have 2 itineraries with your structure. You have your structure for the day, and then you have another itinerary just in case, because we can't have certainty in this crazy world. You have to work with this world and be flexible and go with it. And that's what was so good about the therapeutic community, is that I would go there at 8 in the morning, be there at 9:30, whatever. I had my structured day like a job, and it was easier to stay sane than if your head is going everywhere,
Okay, so structure, very, very important, and have another itinerary. I will talk about all of these tools in the course and go into them in lots and lots of details. You'll be spending loads of time with me. Really looking forward to it. Tool, validation is so important. You can ring my bell, ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling. Now, why was I thinking you can ring my bell? What's the bell got to do with anything? A bell. Okay, well, in the therapeutic community, we all came in there, children, adults who were children that were not validated. I was always told to be what my parents wanted me to be. I wasn't allowed to be myself. So you pick up the bell and go, ding-a-ling, help! I need to say how I feel. And you got that validation. Now, I'm not saying you have to get a bell. You can get a bell if you want to. It's up to you. But metaphorically, symbolically, you need a little bell to say help. Okay? To your friends, your co-workers, your family. If they care about you, you can say to them, well, you know what? Today, please validate me. I'm not having a good day today. I feel really tired. And I need you to be there for me a little bit more. That is so important, to have that validation. Have that little bell. And it works so well in the community. Actually, in the community, I rang it so much that I was told to stop ringing it. I went completely the other way, which I'll teach you about balance, coming back into balance, which is so important. But for people like you and me, that as children were not validated, if you suffer from lack of validation and you want people to give you that extra nurturing, then ring that little bell metaphorically. Thank you. And tool number 4 is creativity. I've been playing accordion since I was 6 years old, and this is how I express my creativity, through playing the accordion, which is one of them. How do you express your creativity? Are you a musician, an artist? You have God-given talents, the same as everyone else. Use them. Use them. You know, they say that God, or love, created man in his or her image. So think about it. We must be creators. Now, to me, to create is to breathe. What about you? What can you do to make your life better? Creativity is so important for us to stay sane in this crazy world. You need to, if you can't do it professionally, you need to have a hobby that you enjoy. Acting, singing. Singing's brilliant for breathing. As you sing, use your lungs. You know, it's really good. It really opens everything up. Makes you feel alive. Makes you tap into what you really are. You could be making jewelry. Work as an aromatherapist, using massage oils. Make beautiful flowers, paint. Whatever you want to do. What is your creativity? What is it that you can do? As I say, have a hobby. Colouring in books are wonderful for calming down the washing machine head that I've got. They used to give us to do that in the therapeutic community when nothing else worked. Go out there, find your creativity, guys. And of course, we'll talk a load about creativity and how you can tap into your unique creativity in the course itself. On to tool number 5. Therapy. Therapy, CBT, DBT. Get yourself a good therapist. Now, There are times when you haven't got anyone to talk to communicate with, you can actually tell them how you feel, or you don't want to pour everything on your loved ones. So get yourself a good therapist. That's why it was called the therapeutic community. And Lauren took as much therapy as possible. I took loads of therapy because I felt like I needed it. So get yourself a nice therapist out there. Someone you can talk to, someone you can confide in, someone you can tell them your deepest, darkest pain and suffering, whatever is stuck in you, you will feel so much better. And if you have a partner, then make sure they go with you as well occasionally, because then you can learn how to get to know each other. If you have a mental health issue, then you really do need to educate your partner, and being in therapy together with your children, your family, whoever, your friends, they will understand what's going on with you if you can't actually explain it to them. Because a lot of the time, I know that when I was first diagnosed, I couldn't get on with my husband because I didn't understand the condition. He didn't understand it either. But you learn techniques together, you talk about things together, you get to know each other. So therapy, using cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, DBT, are very good as well, because I have a mind which can develop into what they call the domino effect. A situation could go boom, 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 and end up back in your childhood where you got shocked in the first place. So with cognitive behavioral therapy, you learn how to not catastrophize, not generalize. You learn to be able to be more focused on the problem itself. Get out a piece of paper and write down what the things that are bothering you, and you bring yourself back into focus. And solution. Be solution based. So in the therapy, give yourself a chance to clear it all out, but also be solution based, and that will help me to move on to another tool, which is coaching. Life coaching, okay, another great tool to have. Without life coaching, I wouldn't be able to do any of my goals, because life coaching is not just for celebrities and business people, it's for everyone. And you can get free life coaching. People are looking for them all the time, pro bono. They need to work with people first to get their qualification. So get yourself a good life coach. Have your topic, your big dream, but have the steps to creating it. And I'm going to teach you a method called the Kaizen method. I have so much to teach you that I've learned over the whole of my life really. But I've been able to take the tools that I learned in the community and the tools of recovery that I've created myself to stay sane in this crazy world. And I'm so looking forward to doing it. 7. Stay in the moment. Here's a little anecdote which is going to help you with that. Stay in the moment. The past is history. The future a mystery. The present a gift. Unwrap it with glee. Stay in the moment. Smell the flowers. They're not real, but imagine. Smell the beautiful, this is cinnamon, beautiful oil. Stay in the moment. Eat a beautiful piece of fruit. Taste it. Stay in the moment. Now, you know what? I've been into Eckhart Tolle and staying in the moment for a long time, but in the therapeutic community we use it a lot because the mind races into the past and the future, and you can't be in the moment if you've been shocked. It's very hard to do that. But there are techniques you can learn. There's touch assist, there's using the healing codes, which I find is very, very amazing, which got me out of panic, which helped me stay in the moment. There's the violet flame meditations, which again help you stay in the moment. There's breathing techniques, there's mindfulness, there's loads of stuff you can do to help you stay in the moment, okay? If you feel that your mind is racing backwards towards the past or racing forwards towards the future, then just get yourself focused on a point in front of you and just stay with it, breathe. And stay in the moment. Bring yourself back. Bring yourself back into the moment. I'm in the moment now, okay? I don't have to worry about what happened. I don't have to worry about what is happening. Stay in the moment. Okay, so that is actually leading me to the next tool. It's interesting because all these tools work together. You can use all of them or you can use some of them, but they all work together because one of the best ways to stay in the moment is meditation. And that is the next tool. Meditation and mindfulness. So meditation and mindfulness. If you're lucky as I am, you'll live half an hour away from Amravati Buddhist Retreat, a beautiful, beautiful retreat in the middle of Gaddison, Hemel Hempstead, where you can go and eat the most incredible foods, the most incredible salads and healthy foods, and really enjoy them and be in the moment in this beautiful place where you can meditate. There's nothing going on there except the birds and loads of vast area to relax, to surrender and be in the moment. You can do the courses there, they're free or on donation. They've got courses every single Saturday. You can go and learn how to meditate. And there's no religious connotation. To me, Buddhism is really just a philosophy of life. Mindfulness is probably what more lay people are using nowadays. But Buddhism, mindfulness, meditation, to me it's all the same thing. You don't have to be a religious person or a spiritual being or whatever some people refer to as spirituality. You don't have to have that. You could just be an ordinary, so to speak, person in this world trying to stay sane. Okay, so meditation and mindfulness are very good to use. And as I say, find yourself a beautiful retreat. And if you can't, then use the Course in Miracles as a meditative thing. You can use that all through the day. Even if you're a busy mom or anything, you just have to give your mind the opportunity to use a positive affirmation about peace and love. A Course in Miracles. And if you want to find out more, go on the internet. It's free. Get the lessons. They're down to earth and don't question them. Just do them. I can choose peace rather than this is a brilliant one. To give is to receive, and when you're sitting with someone and you want to be in the moment, give love and love will come back. Or if you want to be more in the moment and focus, give focus. Say, I offer you focus. I offer you an opportunity to be in the moment, and then it'll come back to you. Use it. It works. I use it all the time. It works. And nobody has an excuse not to say these little positive affirmations, even when they're on the toilet, for God's sake. Anyone can take a minute out of an hour and say, I can choose peace rather than this. And it will impact your life. Course in Miracles. So all these things I'm going to teach you. Also, you can go on Easy Peasy, which I've set up years ago. And there's a little exercise on there on how to stay sane in this crazy world by using Easy Peasy, A Course in Miracles. It's on my Facebook. PM me, I'll send you the link. I do everything to help you guys to stay sane. And like I said, if I can do it, you can do it. So, good luck with that. And moving on to the next massive tool, which everybody talks about, but which I've got to bring in here. And that is gratitude. To appreciate. Now it's true, it really is true that if you can be grateful for everything, and I mean everything, Melody Beattie says in her books that we should be grateful for the worst things that have happened to us. Now sometimes that's hard to do. Why would I be grateful for being disinherited? Why would I be grateful for my father dying and leaving me with a mess to deal with? Why would I be grateful for being in a wheelchair for 4 months on my own in the house? Why? Because when I started to walk again, I was so grateful for having the opportunity to walk again. I felt like a child that had discovered their legs again. Another thing, I couldn't have a bath because I had a cast on my leg. So when they took the cast off and I was allowed to have a bath, we bought the bath chair. And when I was lowered into that bath and I put my bubbles in, yes, healthy bubbles, organic, because that's how I am. Another way I feel is important to stay well. I was so grateful. I was like a baby splashing around in those bubbles, like a baby, grateful. And they say that all you need is 5 things to be grateful for, which will change your day. And I think everyone can find that. Joe Vitale talks about that. He says that all he had was a pencil when he was homeless, but that pencil gave him the opportunity to write a book. He didn't have 5 things, he had 1 thing, a pencil. Okay, so let's have a look at 5 things I could be grateful for when I was in a wheelchair. I'd lost my mobility overnight. I had walked continuously and suddenly, boom, I can't walk at all. I can't stand, I can't drive. I don't have children. I don't have friends to take care of me. They all disappeared. My family disappeared, didn't want to know. All there was my husband and my cats, and my husband had gone to work. What am I supposed to do? Go crazy? No. Medication? Not for me. So what did I do? Okay, here are the 5 things that I did which kept me sane. And that is why I'm able to pass this on. First thing was, I was safe. I was safe in my home because, you know, I grew up in a country with wars and terrorism. I was in England and I was safe in a beautiful village, number 1. I had lots of food and I could get to the food because I could wheel the wheelchair. I had water and I had a flask of tea, which my husband made for me and left for me. I had my beautiful cats, Peace and Ellie, who were there all the time and gave me loads of love. Well, they don't usually give you love. You have to pick them up and demand it because they're cats, not dogs, if you know what I mean. But they were there all the time. And the 5th thing was, well, I had Facebook. Facebook Live. I could sing to my heart's content, and I did. I did loads and loads of singing on Facebook, and I entertained you guys. And so you can find your 5 gratitude things that you did. How to stay sane in this crazy world. The tool I want to talk about is uniqueness. It's really, really important to tap into what you really are. So what is your unique way of living? What is your unique diet? What is your way of helping yourself with pain relief, for example? There's so much I've got to teach you because, as you know, I won't use medication. So I have to find loads of ways to stay well. And I want to pass all of this on to you. And that's why I've created this course, the Toolbox of Recovery, to help you stay sane and happy, pain-free in this crazy world that we live in. So what you're listening to at the moment are binaural beats. I've got them on to help me with healing my leg at the moment. You know what, I've used binaural beats to help me heal a toothache rather than taking antibiotics, and they worked. They relieve the toothache. Now, if they can relieve a toothache, they can relieve an ache in the leg as well. So you do your own research, you try things out. They can't harm you, there's no side effects. But you do have to be careful if you have got physical ailments and you start to go through the internet and you've got lists and lists of different supplements that you need to take. That I don't agree with, because they can cause problems if you take the wrong ones or the wrong herbs or whatever. I think you need to see someone professional. So to find your own uniqueness, your own lifestyle, your own way of surviving in this crazy world, your own diet, find someone like a kinesiologist. A kinesiologist is someone who will tell you exactly what your body needs without blood tests. I love that because I hate blood tests. Basically, it's muscle testing. And I've been going to see one for years and years and years, where they tell you exactly what's good for you, what you need to eat, what isn't good for you, what's going to clash with your body and your chemistry. Now let's take an example of diet, veganism. People out there are telling me that veganism heals everything, every ache and pain in the body, everything that you can imagine, and which is great, diabetes, cancer, fantastic. But I decided to become a vegan, and a few weeks into veganism, I started to get the most horrendous depressions. horrendous depressions, really difficult depressions. So I thought, well, I'm going to go to a kinesiologist and I'm going to check this out. And I did. And I was amazed to find out that my body did not want me to be a pure vegan. My body wanted me to also eat a bit of meat, fish and chicken. 3 times a week, that's it, 3 portions. And it's amazing because your body knows everything. Your body knows everything. So in this course, I'm going to teach you about how to heal your body, how to heal your mind, how to use all the amazing techniques out there that I've used for years and years and years. The Journey by Brandon Bays. Binaurals, which I'm listening to at the moment, which are all over the internet, which I've even healed toothache with without antibiotics. Colloidal silver. There's so many things out there that are generic and won't cause you any side effects, which is so exciting. But if you go to see a kinesiologist and find out exactly what's unique to you, then you'll know exactly what foods to eat and what supplements to take as well. So your uniqueness is so important, and everything that I'm telling you today is about your uniqueness, your creativity, your nutrition, your own uniqueness. Find out what works for you, what ticks for you. We're going to do a wheel of life, and you're going to look at your life and all the parts in your life, because we're all different. And if something isn't working, why isn't it working? And what can I do to make it work? This is what I'm going to give you in the proper course. So that's it for this little film. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you can take all these amazing tools and use them in your day-to-day life. No matter what you take from this course, you will have a better life. You will have an easier life. You will learn how to be sane in this crazy world. Do whatever you want to do. Live your dream. I'm going to teach you how to do all of this without any money even. How can you do all of this? How can you become the person that you want to become with very little money even? How can you eat healthily? How can you find your uniqueness? So you have a wonderful, wonderful life. And if you join me on the course, then I will be setting up some webinars which you'll be able to join, subscribe to, and I'll be sending those out in the next few weeks. I've never done this before. This is a new exciting step for me to create an online course. We'll be talking about chakras, all the chakras in the body, and how to make them well. We'll be talking about colors and different things like oils and stones and crystals and food and creativity, and wow, the whole world that's out there, yours for the taking. Okay, so I want you to have a beautiful day and be peaceful. And if one of these tools changes your life, then I've done my job. Because it's up to us that are learning to pass this on. So the next step, you can contact me at Lauren with an E at movingontv.uk. You can go on my website, movingontheatre.co.uk or movingontv.uk, watch all the programs of Moving On TV, and also find out more about this course, the toolbox to staying sane in a crazy world, incorporating everything that I've learned in my whole life that I'm going to pass on to you. And as you know, I've had a long life, well, longish. A lot has happened to me. And I'm going to take everything that I learned in the therapeutic community and pass on to you. I'm just going to say, if you decide to use this and send it around with my blessings, please make sure that you tell everyone to be part of your recovery, whatever it is. Your friends, your relations, your partners need to be part of this. Because without their help and love and support, you can't do this. And find a higher power. Whatever that higher power can be. Go to 12-step groups, go to meetups, don't be lonely, don't isolate. Love you lots, and I look forward to talking to you soon on Facebook and on the internet. Take care. Namaste.
Can you hear
Just going to just relax a sec, and I'm going to use the opportunity just to, even for me to be able to relax, not to have to rush into it, because there's nothing to rush into, just to get people just to enjoy that space. There's a lot of the time where we feel like we need to speak where we don't need to. So I'm going to even give this opportunity before I even start. I'm just going to let go. I'm not going to try and formulate anything. I'm just going to hold space and go through my breath for the moment, and it allows you an opportunity just to look at me if you have to not want anything. Even now, you're sitting there thinking, waiting to hear something, waiting to get directions, listening to my voice, waiting to see where I'm going with it. But to more just concentrate on the sound of my voice, more concentrate on the feeling, because at the moment I'm not formulating anything in my head. I'm just going with an intuitive feeling. Just keep listening to my voice, the sound of my voice, the tone of my voice, the texture of my voice, the vibration and intention that's being carried through my voice. And just breathe. There's no need to force anything. There's no need to try and rid your head of any thoughts. Just completely allow yourself to feel everything. You may find it hard to relax. You may be feeling invigorated. You may be feeling stimulated. Don't question it. Don't worry about it. Just feel it, become aware of it. Feel all the senses and the nerves in your body. Allow yourself to flinch. Allow your breathing to be, you may have real short, rapid breaths. Just allow it to be. There's nothing worse than trying to stop something. Just allow it to be. So we very, very slowly change the vibration gradually from the space that you're already in. It's about you just getting used to and sitting in whatever feelings you're experiencing in your body right now. Your thoughts may be racing. Allow it to be. You may feel like you just want to groan. Allow it to just be. You may be suddenly feeling irritated. Say it if you want to say it. Fuck it. Just allow it to say it. Just be.
Happy, 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 happy news. Happy, happy, happy news.
I'm all about no repression. Just allow whatever to be. What does my voice sound like to you? I don't want to question an answer back. It's just, what does my voice sound like? You're hearing a collection of words, but they're just sounds. Just keep concentrating on my voice. Right now, there's love in the intentions. There's love behind what it is I'm wanting to do right now, and that's a feeling. That's consciousness. And you're connected to that consciousness. This screen doesn't mean anything. That love, that intention, that calmness, that clarity, that pureness of consciousness of being, You can feel that right now because you're connected to it through consciousness, through time and space. You are that. I'm just a reflection of that in you. Whatever I'm saying or putting across, you are that. So just be. And again, I am just talking. You may think, has he started yet? I started ages ago. It's just my little formula and my way of doing things, my way of getting people into a meditative state. Because it's already working, the conscious flow, the feeling is already penetrating through me. It's not what I'm saying that's important, it's the energy that's being transported and carried through the words I'm saying. That's how it works. It's what's coming through that you feel, not necessarily what's being said. It's an energy thing, and you're an energy being. Now, depending on the different people that may be watching, again, I'm going to make it tailored for you all individually, through one person, being myself. But it'll all be felt and experienced differently for all of you. What do you want to relax in your body? What do you want to work on? What do you want to feel right now? Some of you may want to just feel relaxed. Some of you may want to go on a little journey. Some of you may want to focus healing energy on a particular organ or a particular part of your body. Just know all of that is going on right now. Anything that you need right now, this energy is going towards helping that, creating that, shifting that, moving that, maneuvering that. The sound and the intention and the energy be carried in my voice may be making someone feel tingly. It may be making someone else feel relaxed. It may be making someone's arm feel relaxed. It may be doing all sorts of different things because the energy goes where the energy flows, where it needs to go for every single particular individual person who's listening to this. Let it be for what you want it for. It doesn't even matter because that's already happening anyway. That's how intelligent, infinite, intelligent consciousness is. Some of you may be feeling relaxed. Some of you may be getting a real healing sensation. Some of you may be starting to feel otherworldly sensations. Someone may even be feeling stressed. It's whatever you want it for. A meditation is just about focusing energy where the energy needs to go. Where do you want it to go? What is this for you? Now I'm just going to do some sound. I'm going to let out intuitive sounds which I feel to let out. And the very fact that you're watching this and I'm expressing these sounds to you on a conscious level, you've attracted it, you want it for whatever you want it for. Again, it may help you relax, it may help you go off on a little journey, or whatever it is you need. It may heal your DNA, your cellular body, because you're just made of atoms and energy. And this is all I'm putting across and expressing and communicating right now is a form of energy from my intuitive being. And the very fact it's intuitive, it's dipping into a collective consciousness that we're all part of. So I can only give you right now exactly what you want and need for your highest good or potential. Now I feel to let out certain sounds and tones. Don't question it, just feel it. Your mind, again, might want to question it, but don't question it, just feel it. And again, I'll say it again. Doesn't matter what I'm saying at the moment, the healing's going on. This is the meditation, the work's going on as I speak. It's flowing. The energy's flowing. I know it's happening. I can feel it. I can feel the change in my feeling my voice as I speak. I can feel the change in my body, how I feel as I'm speaking. I feel lighter. I feel tingly. Therefore, I know it's healing conscious energy which is going on at the moment. Now I'm going to start with the sound. The sound has already started. It started long ago through the sounds of my voice, the tones of my voice, not what I'm saying, the tones, the vibrations of every single syllable and vowel I'm using. They all make up what seems to be formed and interpreted as a language, but they're just vibrations that are put and stuck together to create a formulation of what you perceive as a word. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but you may not understand these words, but you'll understand them energetically. On some conscious level, you'll feel them, just as you already have been feeling them for the past 5 minutes. Regardless of what you understand, it's working anyway. This is my form of meditation for you, my expression, my gift for you. It's already happening. Different to usual meditations, but a meditation nonetheless. Iskiarmutuku ashnu warnataku ana awataka sekeyaneteku armanakoake. Really feel into every sound and feel where you're feeling it in your body. Be aware of what it's making you feel, what it may be making you see, or it may be taking you off on a journey. Just allow it to, don't question it. Arno ua awaskarna tuku armutuku anawasheke. Do not try and understand it as a language, just feel the sounds. Mishkiarnatuku armubutuku arnataku oanaka. Enesekewe el niki arnukushkurmukur. Awarnataku armamataku ushkarnataku arnataka esiki armubuku ushnarnataku. Emeketeke sekia marnatukush murbubukusha. If you want to open your eyes, you're welcome to open your eyes. If you want to join in, join in. Lauren, if you feel to join in, join in. It's join in. It's consciousness. If it moves you to want to express, and allow it to do so. If that means your body feels it wants to move in a certain way, then do that. That's your biofield wanting to manipulate the atmosphere, the energetic flow of what's going on. If you feel to do that, anyone who's watching, if it makes you feel to cry, if it makes you feel to release, if it makes you feel to join in, if it makes you feel to move your body in a certain way, do so. Armotuku uarnataka armamaku ushnakawe neke ernaka awarnaka se eke anataka ornuku us namata awa ushnake se. As I said, it may sound odd, it doesn't matter, it's just sounds, it's just vibrations. Even one particular sound, ka, ka, ka. Where do you feel that? What does that make you feel like? Se. Ke. Umar tuku ushmar mapaka arnene tewe nete kianam se.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Urmaka arnata kua anata ornata urmanata ku urmanata join in. Ormutuku urmanata uanati ki urmantu.
Malaka bara.
Ormanana marnata ku ushke marnatu ku ornata ku ornanana burtu ku uanata kawashnake. Feel how it feels.
I can feel my spine opening. My whole spine started to expand as you were doing that. Like Falandafa.
Very slowly, just allow yourself. Feel how it feels. You can almost feel the magnetism in your body and the magnetic feeling.
Oh, you can feel
you
it.
really feel into it. Then allows you to move. It pulls itself into where it needs to go, and then it makes it stronger, which makes it even more obvious, which makes it pulls it even more. That it keeps emphasizing and heightening itself, and you know where to place your hand more, and it invigorates it even. Even more. And when you're doing this, you'll feel releasements in your body. It just feels good. Your body knows exactly what you need. On that note,
what can I say? What an incredible interview and an incredible meditation. And we got to hear your stunning singing voice. So some people, if you're lucky and you go and do the sound stuff with Paul and use the bed, you might be lucky enough to get his beautiful singing voice as well.
If they want that, that's I suppose.
If they want it, yeah. So there you go. So, oh God, that was beautiful. Just very quickly, I was interviewing an incredible 5D consciousness group yesterday called Love Has Won. Love Has Won. They're incredible, these two girls. And we finished it with the word ahava. Ahava in Hebrew is love. And the same way as you've got Buddha, Brahma, Allah, Adonai, it's always this open sound, ahava. It's a beautiful word in Hebrew. Love, love. Like Wayne Dyer doesn't say love. He said we should actually pronounce it love, love.
Yeah, you can feel it, can't you, in a word when you express it.
It's an open. Everything is open. The words are open. And it's like you have just opened up the whole of my spine. I could feel all the vertebrae just, first of all, the way it started when you started singing, I went back to my Jewish roots. And in the synagogue, you had the cantor, the chazan, and they would sing like that. So I could feel it right deep down in my solar plexus and my lower stomach. And then that's what it means to me. I'm getting into the core of my feelings. And so I let that happen. And then it starts to open more and more. And then as you went along, the spine started to open up like that, stretching outwards and outwards. You know, I always get so much from all of this because it's so detoxifying. You know, everything works in me so fast. I'm like a cat. You know, if you give an animal homeopathy, they don't have any barriers. So it's the same with me. I'm so open to all these techniques and healing because there's nothing to stop it. I don't have a barrier. I don't have saying, oh, this isn't going to work. You know what I mean? So that was incredible, Paul. I need to do another interview with you. My God, you should be doing your whole show I reckon you should do a show and on there here, we're listening, every week, half an hour with Paul McDonald. I think, like, particularly while we're in lockdown, you could do your own lockdown series coming from the Positivity Centre. How would you feel about that?
My little soundbar.
I think it'd be incredible. Your own, and you could put your own music. We are live still with this. You could put your own music in the background because you're writing all this stuff anyway. But you know, half an hour. Like I've got people doing half an hour, and I'm just saying, anybody, if you want to come on to Moving On TV, email me at movingontv1@gmail.com. This
And share it.
opportunity to do your own show.
And share it. Share
Your talents, exactly. Martin does letting go in lockdown. Martin does hypnotherapy, letting go in lockdown. I have the lovely Ellen Carter. She's done books. She's done around her garden, organic vegetables. She did abundance in lockdown. I've got Jaden Darcy. Darcy, I can't wait to see his program. He's in Australia. He's doing a program, and there you go. Louise Hammond, fingers crossed, she's going to do her own muse acting program in the lockdown. So there you go. Now we've got Paul McDonald, and he can do a lockdown series for us.
Yeah, I'm up for it. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Cool.
I'll do a weekly resonation.
Yeah, weekly from the Positivity Centre, whatever it is you feel. Anyway, thank you so much, Paul. What can I say? It's been an incredible interview. And you've given so much. And that's what I love about this awakening, is we're all giving so much from the heart. You know, and I'm not checking how many subscriptions, how many likes, but I do need to get to 1,000 subscriptions on me on TV in order to stream live now, because everything has changed with YouTube. We need to build up. The more subscriptions we have, the more wonderful people like Paul I can bring on. Okay. So take care. Have a beautiful dinner. Love to everyone, and we'll see you soon. So lots of love.
Wow.
Thank you very much. Peace.
Thanks, Lauren.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye. Bye.
Feel that relaxation go from the top of your head